Hey guys, I'm here today to give you my DVD review of The Rock versus John Cena Once in a Lifetime. So, yeah guys, I'm just gonna get into the review here. Hope you guys are all having a good day, and, yeah. So, here's the front cover with The Rock and Cena. Then for the side, you got The Rock up here looking hella angry. Here's John. Kind of like the same cover, yeah, the same cover as that one. And then on the back, here is The Rock and Cena at Wrestlemania 28. Yeah, I'll leave this here for you guys to read for about 7 seconds here. And then, I really like the inside cover here. You got The Rock with his boots to asses shirt, staring at John Cena. So I like the inside cover here. It's pretty cool. Then on the inside, here's what the documentary and all the contents here. I'll leave this again here for about 10 seconds for you guys to read here. And then for disc 1, you have The Rock on the first disc. Disc 2 has nothing on it for some weird reason. And then here's disc 3. And then underneath these discs, underneath disc 1, 2, and 3, you got The Rock giving John Cena a rock bottom at WrestleMania 28. This one's a little weird, I think, of the two of them. And then you got John Cena giving The Rock an attitude adjustment. So that's what the artwork is for this DVD. Not really that fancy, really. I mean, they could have done a little bit of a better job, I think, with the artwork, but, I mean, it's good for what it is, I think. So, anyway, guys, all in all, a pretty good documentary for this DVD. I really liked what both of them had to say. And, I mean, you just get different opinions for each guy, really. I mean, The Rock talks about coming back and how they had been planning this for a while, but he didn't really know when to come back and all that. And then, pretty much, the reason why, I mean, I'm not going to spoil everything for you guys, because I kind of want you guys to get this DVD and watch it for yourself, and you can have your own opinion about the two of them, but, I mean, it was just interesting, though, to listen to both of their opinions, because, basically, the reason why these two had a feud, a beef, was because when The Rock left in 2004, to do Hollywood and all that, John Cena was pretty much talking shit about The Rock, saying about, oh, he doesn't care for the WWE, he wouldn't care if the company went bankrupt, and all that dumb shit, and he was saying about, oh, if it's been 7 years, if The Rock really cared, he could come for WrestleMania or something like that. So pretty much, John Cena was just talking a lot of shit about The Rock, saying about how he doesn't care about the WWE and all that. So that kind of pissed off The Rock and all that, and that's why these two had a beef. And it's funny because before this, The Rock and John Cena were completely fine. Like, The Rock, even when John Cena was debuting in the WWE, The Rock was giving him tips about the WWE and all that. And it was funny because in one of the special features, John Cena's brother was trying to get to a match to see John Cena wrestle in a dark match, and The Rock gave John Cena's brother tickets to that match. So, yeah, I mean, it was pretty interesting to listen to that, and then, so you get to hear all that, and then you get to hear, like I said, from The Rock about coming back, and then you get to hear from John Cena about how he used to be a fan of The Rock, but that he doesn't like The Rock now. He doesn't like Dwayne Johnson because he's only in Hollywood, and he only comes back once in a while for WWE, and that's kind of true. But, I mean, it's just interesting listening to the both of them, and it's funny listening to other wrestlers talk about them. I mean, you hear all these other stories from wrestlers. You hear stories like from The Big Show talking about how, like, once when he was starting in the WWE during the Attitude Era, he didn't get, like, a first-class seat on, like, an airplane, and The Rock was trying to get him to sit over there since just to be nice and all that, but Big Show told him that he couldn't. So then The Rock moved from his first-class seat and sat in the back with the Big Show, and basically became friends with him and all that. And so I think that was pretty cool. And then also you got to hear from the Big Show about how John Cena bought him like some fancy Chevy Corvette, or I can't remember what the car was, but I thought that was also pretty cool, John Cena. But anyway, I mean, both of these guys are obviously good, and I mean, you just get different opinions about it. I mean, like I said, on one point you have John Cena talking shit, saying, "Oh, The Rock doesn't care about WWE and all that," and then you hear from The Rock about how he does care about the WWE and that he tries to come back as much as he can, and that he also, and that, I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, like, The Rock likes to do both movies and wrestling, and sometimes he needs to, I mean, sometimes, I don't know, like, sometimes I guess he should decide on which one he wants to do more, if he wants to make more movies, or if he wants to be in the WWE and all that. So it's, yeah, so it's really interesting to listen to these two, and, what else? You also hear about, I mean, in this part, I mean, I will say this, that the WrestleMania 28, I mean, like, building up to that WrestleMania, I mean, it was just kind of goofy because they needed more face-to-face confrontations, and they couldn't really do that. So, for part of their build-up to WrestleMania 28, these two were just talking shit to each other over social media. And, I mean, that to me is just kind of laughable that they built, I mean, this is the WWE's fault, I think. Because they built it a year in advance, and they can only get The Rock for a couple of dates. And, I mean, while they had a good amount of confrontations, most of their trash talking had to be done over social media, whether it was via satellite, via Twitter, via YouTube, etc., etc. So, I mean, that's clearly the WWE's fault for booking this a year in advance and all that. I mean, it was just kind of goofy, I think, but yeah, so you got to hear about that, and then, I mean, it just, I don't want to spoil everything for you guys, like I said, but it's just really interesting to listen to these two about their feud, and just getting their different opinion on it. And, you know, The Rock talked about how some people in the back didn't like him returning because he took the spotlight. And while I can agree with that, because I'm with them. I mean, it would piss me off if a part-timer came back and was in the main event and got the spotlight and all that. I completely understand that. But I don't blame The Rock for that. I blame the WWE for that. It was their fault for making, I mean, not saying that this wasn't a good main event, but it's their fault for booking part-timers in the main events and winning all the championships. That's clearly their fault. I mean, The Rock's just doing his job. I mean, I really am not going to blame him for that. But anyway, so The Rock talked about how some people in the backstage did not really like him returning, and about how he just ignored them. But I mean, most people were happy to see him back. I mean, today, I mean, people are happy to see The Rock back. But that's a whole nother story. But either way, so that was all interesting to listen to. And then, I mean, you get to see on what both of them do with their families. I mean, you get to see John Cena do stuff with Make-A-Wish, and about how he visits his home once in a while, and in Boston, and then you got to see like what The Rock does with WWE and Hollywood movies and all that. So it was all very interesting. And then what else? One thing I will say though is that it's funny because in this DVD you had some people talk for both John Cena and The Rock, and I mean, it's clear to me that in 2012 or 2011, whenever this DVD came out and when The Rock came back, you know CM Punk was not happy about it. CM Punk did not like The Rock. I mean, I think these two are better now. I think that The Rock and Punk are fine now. I think. I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't know, but you can clearly tell in this DVD that CM Punk is not happy. You can just tell because he was pissed off that like these two pretty much got the main event, and about how The Rock only came back once in a while and got all the spotlight and the champions and all that. I mean, so I actually can sympathize with CM Punk on that one, because I too would probably be a little pissed off. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at The Rock. I would be mad at WWE. But I mean, you can just clearly tell in this DVD that CM Punk was not happy about this feud and about the match and all that, because he was just pissed off that that these two were main eventing and all that. So, and it was funny also because CM Punk also admitted that these two needed more confrontations, face to face instead of over social media and on all that. And then when you listen to all the wrestlers on this DVD talking about WrestleMania, it was funny because I mean, it was like split 50-50. Like some wrestlers like The Miz, CM Punk were saying that John Cena needed to win at WrestleMania 28, and then you hear from Sheamus and all these other guys saying about how The Rock needs to win and all that, so it was pretty interesting to listen to that, and I really liked all the backstage stuff they had for this DVD. To me, I enjoyed the documentary more than the rest of the DVD because all they had after the documentary was all their trash talkings. And while I don't mind some trash talking, after a while I got kind of sick of it because I listened to all of it at once, and that was a mistake. And I mean, for most of this, I've already seen them. I mean, it's kind of nice to see them again, but I've already seen most of this stuff, so I really didn't really care to watch it, or I didn't really care to, I don't know, I already saw it, so I cared about the documentary more than I did for the matches and the moments. Like, for the moments, you have The Rock returning to Raw in 2011, you have all of this stuff here, you have basically them talking trash to each other for like a year in advance, and I will say though that I did like this match, the Never Before, Never Again, The Rock and John Cena versus The Miz and R-Truth. That was a pretty good match, and it was just funny to see the crowd in New York booing John Cena out of the building, and they also talk about that in the documentary, saying about how even though the fans in New York booed the shit out of John Cena at Survivor Series, John Cena's merchandise sale was like one of the top sellers for that event, which is kind of ass backwards, like John Cena was saying. I mean, it was just totally unexpected since the fans were just totally showing their hatred of him. So, yeah, and then, what else? You had, pretty much more trash talking for 2012. I did like The Rock's history lessons, those were hilarious. And I liked the Rock concert, and, yeah, I mean, and of course, I didn't watch the WrestleMania match because I have the WrestleMania 28 DVD, so I've already seen the match plenty of times. And but I actually did like the WrestleMania 28 match better than their WrestleMania 29 match. The rematch was horrible. Their first match was okay. But all in all, guys, I'd say, I mean, I got this DVD pretty cheap too. So if you can find the DVD pretty cheap at your at stores, I recommend you buy it. Like I said, the documentary is really interesting. And yeah, guys, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I hope you liked my review. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace. Yeah, peace out, guys.